Good evening, everyone. My name is Jeremy Duncan. I'm the host and creator of the TXK State of Mind podcast. Tonight, you'll be joining us for episode 27 of TXK Conversations. Tonight, we have a very special guest. Most of you know him. He grew up in Texarkana. You might have attended school with him at Dunbar or Pine Street, or well, he likes to call himself a Razorback. So we're going to bring on Mr. Lloyd Jackson. He's the new superintendent of the Texarkana Arkansas School District. I like to call him a brother not only of Texarkana, but a brother of a ready spirit, but also a good brother of the Black and Gold Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. So he's going to be on tonight to talk to us about homegrown leadership and how his upbringing has brought him to this point. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Lloyd, Dr. Lloyd Jackson, to the stage.
Hello. Excited, Jeremy. Thank you for this opportunity to be on here. I saw that jab on being over there that for a little while, but I'm a true Razorback for sure.
Yeah, I know I had to get that in on you because I said this guy with the Dunbar, that's my stumping ground with Miss Jones. Yep. Then he went over to Pine Street with Mr. Moore.
Yep.
Then I didn't meet you until we got to Henderson. I think you came maybe like a year after I did.
Indeed.
I've been knowing you ever since.
And it's been beautiful. It has been a great relationship. And who knew that life would come so full circle in so many ways?
Yes, sir.
It's, both from Texarkana, both Henderson, and certainly been a part of that brotherhood of Alpha Phi Alpha. I'm so honored for sure.
Yes, sir. And so tonight, I want to give people a chance to get to know you. You're coming in on your 11th month as superintendent. So I want to talk about some of the things that you are doing, the staff that you're building, all for the good of the students of the Texarkana Independent School District. You have some amazing things that you have been charged to do to bring the district up to where it needs to be within the state, not only in the state, but also in the region. So I wanted to talk with you a little about, so as we know, you grew up in Texarkana, you graduated from Arkansas High. Of course, you went on to Henderson State and graduated from there as well. But how has your personal journey shaped your vision for the district?
Yeah, my personal journey certainly has emboldened my vision for where we want the Texarkana Arkansas School District to go and where we're headed, because education is a passport. And because it's a passport for any student of any background, if you want to get there, it's going to take education in order for that to be a reality. And so it drives me every day, knowing that I walk those halls, especially in Texarkana, Arkansas, and I've gotten the chance to graduate there. The love, the respect, the things that are there, that drives me. And I would want our district not to, like you just mentioned, I don't want to be just the best in the state. I want to be the best in the region. I want to be the best in the country in the work that we're doing. And it's going to take having some great people on the team. And that you alluded to, we got some great people who are mission minded. And our mission is simple. Our mission is so simple. It is simply about doing what's best and what's right for kids. And we do that every day. We're going to be able to rest well at night, and we're going to see some great successes in our system. And so being that person who had adults in my life over time who poured into me, who asked the right questions, who didn't give up on me, who poked me and prodded me and said, what are you going to do when you grow up? What school are you going to? And I had to have answers to those questions. Because I had to have answers to those questions, I then had to take the ACT. I had to apply to college, because I had to give them some answers next time we saw each other. And so that passion and that compassion that the adults had back then, we still have now, but how do we continue to grow that even more and in a greater scale in our system to love on kids and love them to greatness for sure.
Right. I know I had an opportunity to speak to one of your students a couple of episodes ago, Mr. Aiden Howard.
Yep. Great kid.
He mentioned you. He said, yeah, I talked to Mr. Lloyd earlier today. I was in his office. Mm-hmm. And I know growing up in Texarkana, like yourself, we really connected with some of the same people, a lot of the people that kind of nudged us and mentored us and guided us. And they always ask those questions, like you said, what are you going to do? What college are you going to go to? So as you think about that, we were able to be impacted by a lot of great African-American educators, leaders that we both had experienced to be tutored under. So as you look at it, what does it mean for you? And I know people talk about it a lot when they first heard that you were going to be the superintendent, but what does it mean for you to be the first African-American superintendent of the Texarkana Arkansas School District, a school district that pretty much groomed you and brought you up to where you are?
Yeah. I'm humbled. I'm humbled But also it puts on my shoulders a lot. Not I won't call it stress or pressure, but the pride that not only am I a homegrown superintendent, but I'm
Right,
also a part of the historical aspects of this district. I don't take that lightly, but
right,
I don't lead with that either. I am at the end of the day going to do my best work as a leader, not Black, not just because I'm from Texarkana, but because it's the best thing for the kids that I serve. They get the added bonus of me
right,
understanding where we've been, how we've gotten there, and to get a chance to see some of those history-making people within the Texarkana area, like the Adon Nelson, like the Mr. Moores, those folks who have poured into the Texarkana area. And someone shared today in an event I was at that they didn't just pave the way because there was not a way to be paved. They had to actually make the way. Those
right,
had to go through stumps and bruises and obstacles so that it could get paved. And so
right,
while I'm riding on some paved paths right now, they really had to do the work from a trail to make it pavable. And so I'm humbled by that. But it also says a lot that in 2024, when I became the first Black superintendent of Texarkana Arkansas School District, but I'm the first Black superintendent in the Texarkana region.
right.
And so it says a lot about where we're going and how we're going to get there, and just the progress that we're making. But still, a reminder: there's still lots of things for us to do, lots of progress to be made across not only Texarkana but across our country.
Yeah, because I know Texarkana is really growing. It's trying to get back to where we grew up in a time where we had those mentors. We had people that had like set priorities of what they wanted Texarkana to be, how they wanted to grow, how they wanted to thrive. But as you look at your reign as the superintendent of the Texarkana Arkansas School District, so what are some of the priorities that you have set aside or that you've written down of things that you want to accomplish during this time? You're in your 11th month, but that 11 years can be something that's going to build a legacy. So what are some of the priorities that you have for the development of the Texarkana Arkansas School District?
Yeah. So when I think about our priorities, we have three major priorities in this immediate right now.
Right,
And so the three things we're really focusing in on right now is improving our literacy data, because we know if students can read, they can go do anything they want to do in this world. They'll do better in math, they'll do better in science, they'll do better in life if they're able to read. So we want to improve our literacy rates across our system. We want to improve our behavior. We want to reduce the number of negative behaviors and increase the number of positive behaviors in
right,
our system. And then we want to improve our attendance. If you are coming to school more frequently than I can teach you, which means now you're off to a better start in general. So those are immediate goals. But at the end of it all, our vision for this district is that we're a district that is educating, inspiring, encouraging, and leading. And if we're
right,
doing those four things, then we're excited about the work we're doing. And we want to be a space where people are looking at us and saying, wait a minute, what are they over there doing? Because I see some greatness coming out of that system as we look at how our students are performing academically. But it's not just academically. I want students who are leaving us, who are going and excelling in their careers. I want students who are excelling even on the courts and fields of play. We want to be dominant in football, basketball, baseball,
right.
tennis, golf, whatever it looks like. We want to show up and excel in that because we are giving the students the resources and the tools they need to do whatever they desire to do. If you're going to be a plumber, be the best plumber you're going to be. If you're going to be a
Exactly.
welder, the best welder you're going to be. Whatever it looks like, we want to give them an opportunity to be successful when they leave Arkansas High School.
Yeah, because those are going to be the people that are going to shape our community and help it grow. So as you think about your upbringing, how has your upbringing helped in the development of your leadership style and your vision or your approach to education?
So because I am where I am because of no excuses. And
Right,
I have every reason to say, well, I shouldn't be doing this, or I can't be doing this. A kid out of poverty, a single parent home with 4 children, bouncing 10 different elementary schools from kindergarten through 5th grade, bouncing even in Texarkana. You just talked about it. I went to Dunbar, went over to Washington Intermediate, came back to Pine Street, went over to College Hill, went over to North Heights, and we finally landed at Arkansas High. And if I'm telling you, if I'm being transparent right now, all of my high school career, 10th through 12th grade, was spent with me living in Texas. But I made a choice. I made a choice that I wanted to go to Arkansas High School. And that choice came with some consequences. That choice came with me having to walk to school every morning. And it was a 3.5-mile walk from Main Street in Texarkana, Texas, to Jefferson Street in Texarkana, Arkansas every morning. It's a trek. But I could easily use the excuse, well, we don't have a car, so I can't go to school today. And so my attendance could be garbage. And so I don't have excuses. So I don't accept excuses. I may listen to them, but I'm not accepting them. And so that shapes my style, not only of leadership, but my style of service. I want to break barriers. My goal is to be a bulldozer and bulldoze any obstacles or challenges out of the way so that our system and our students and our faculty can be successful.
Right. Man, you motivate me right now. I want to come back and help you out.
Come on.
Yeah. As you think about it, because you talked about the connection with the people that we grew up. You talked about your priorities of everything that you want to do in the community, and you're building your staff.
Yep.
You're getting the buy-in from parents.
Yep.
But what do you need from the community to help in the overall success of what you're trying to do in your vision for the Texarkana Arkansas School District?
Yeah, that's a great question. And for me, it's simple, but complicated all at the same time. One, I need, and I am a man of faith, I need continual prayers. Not just for me, not just for success, but I need prayers for the students that we serve. I need prayers for the teachers and faculty and staff that serve those students so that they stay encouraged. Because this is hard work. It's hard work in education. I don't care where you're teaching at. It's hard work. I don't care where you're being a principal at. It's hard work. So continue to pray for us. But also, when we're seeing success, celebrate with us. Celebrate with us. Post that, repost that, reshare that, those things that we're doing that are well. And then when we need to be checked, when there's some things we're not really up to par here, come to us. And my hope is that people will send that email directly to me, come by and visit directly with me, and not blast us out on Facebook or not put us out in a negative way, in a way that is not productive. And so come to us when we need to be opportunities for growth. When there are opportunities for growth, come and let us know what those are, but also celebrate with us and then find ways to volunteer. What can you give back? What are your strengths? What are your talents? Some people love cooking, so could you come and do a cooking class? Some people enjoy playing chess. Can you come and run a chess club? Some people enjoy reading. Can you come and help run a book club or be a part of our readers, our lunch buddies at the middle school? So what is it that you're willing to do? If it's 30 minutes a week, if it's an hour a week, if it's an hour every 3 weeks, whatever it looks like. But how can you give back to us in a positive way? Because what I do know is that the students on our campuses are just normal kids who are coming with normal life challenges, who their parents are sending them to school wanting nothing but the best for them. And oftentimes we don't always know what that best looks like or how to communicate what we want. But I haven't had a parent yet who said, you know what, I want my kid to not be successful. I think every parent wants that. And every kid deep down on the inside, every student deep down on the inside wants success. And oftentimes they've been beat up so much. They have not seen success so often that they don't believe in themselves. So helping students believe in themselves is another opportunity for us.
Yeah. As you think about it, as you look at the parents and the students, or as you speak to them and the people in the community, what are some of the initiatives that you want to implement within the community that's going to help spur academic success across the school district? Because I know you have some really bright students that are going to school there. You have some really great administrators, teachers that are there. So what are some of the things that you're working with them on that you want to implement within your tenure as the Arkansas School District superintendent?
So some of those things are simple. Some things are more a little complicated. One, we're going to encourage our civic organizations, our churches, our community organizations to get involved with reading. And when I say that, I'm saying encouraging young people to read by reading themselves and sharing what they're reading to their little cousins, sharing what they're reading to the little nephews, to their children or with their children, with their grandbabies. But get involved in reading and then encourage the young people to read at least 15 minutes a day. Because we
Right.
know that if students are engaged in reading, they're more likely to continue that habit. And the more you read, the more words you pick up, the more words you pick up, the more knowledge you have, the more knowledge you have, the more you'll fall in love with reading.
Right.
So encouraging students to read is, again, simple as it may sound, it's certainly a great way to connect with us. But then we're putting into play, and we're starting at some campuses already, of these lunch buddies. And I just mentioned a minute
Okay.
ago where you come in during your lunch hour, and we pair you up with 2 or 3 students, and you all are reading together. Or you're having the student read to you, or you're reading to the student, depending on the age level and certainly the capacity or ability of the student. And so getting engaged and volunteering with the organization or with the district is a way for us to get engaged there. And then to help us with attendance, it is, don't let babies sit at home.
Right.
You don't make excuses. Every day, pre-K through 12th grade matters.
Yes,
And every day they're not there, they're missing something, I promise you. And so encourage students, unless they're ill, unless there are things that are unavoidable, we know that there are some things that do come up, get students to school so that when those days do come up where it's necessary for them to be out, it's not compounded by the unnecessary absences that we accumulate over time. So encouraging students and getting them to school. Because when it comes kindergarten, pre-K through 8th grade, we all know that's on adults. Because
right.
they get the 8th grade doesn't have a car to drive.
Right.
I hope they don't. If they do, we
Right.
have another issue coming on.
I know, right?
So, and sometimes 8th graders don't know how to get themselves up with an alarm clock, but you can teach responsibility and they can do those things. But encouraging good attendance, reading and reading with students, and then at the dinner table, and I hope we all get back to the dinner table, even if it's just you and your crew, but
Right.
get at the dinner table and have conversations about what did you learn today? What is one big thing that you took away from the things? And don't let nothing be an example or acceptable, because they won't. That's not a true statement. They learned something. If they didn't, it's on them to try to figure something out, because the questions should come up every day. What did you learn today?
Right. And as I was doing my research, I know you. We've been friends for quite a long time. So I've heard you speak. I've watched you at different events, whether it's been at Henderson State or at local churches. And I know, just looking at your bio that I had you complete, you talked about how your focus or your emphasis is on youth development and a passion for your faith. So how do you merge those two together to be able to allow you to do the things that you're going to need to do? Because I know you have a lot of challenges that you're experiencing now or that may come down the road. So how do you tie your faith into being able to develop those youth-based programs or initiative that you want to implement for the students there?
Well, I mean, it first starts with me. I am no good to anyone. I'm not good to myself. And so I take time to build my faith muscle through reading and certainly fellowshipping with church and those things. And so I build my own faith, and then I try to live it out every day. You won't find me carrying around a Bible saying I love Jesus. You won't have me rebuking people or laying hands on people in the school, but you will find that I'm loving. I try to be understanding and forgiving and caring, all tenets that are from my faith. And so living out that faith becomes important. And as I live out that faith, you connect in ways that you don't have to talk about all the time. And when people see you're authentic, then authenticity draws authenticity. Then we can have some real conversation. And so, and the people who pick up if you're real or not quicker than anybody else,
Our kids
get it.
Right.
Yeah, they'll call you out. You fake. This ain't real. And so being authentic draws in, and from there we're able to then understand what students need. And so I have 4 councils that I meet with as the superintendent advisory councils every month. I meet with a student advisory council, a teacher advisory council, a classified advisory council, which are our paraprofessionals and bus drivers and business office, those types of folks who work with us. And then I meet with our parent advisory council. And I meet with those students so I can hear what their woes and challenges and perspectives are. And from there, we're able to then make any necessary adjustments or continue things that they're loving or enjoying along this journey. And so we build this thing together is how we do that.
Okay, with those four councils, that kind of ties into my next question. But with those four councils that you meet with, oftentimes you see talent within a student or a parent or a person that you work for. So what things do you have in place or things that you're trying to put in place to inspire those workers or students to go into leadership, maybe within the school or within their communities? Because I know the bigger team that you have, a bigger village that you have, that allows you to do the things that you need to do. So what are some of the things that you're doing maybe to develop leaders amongst those councils that you meet with?
Yeah, even extending beyond that, there's some things that we're putting into play, and we're still in the infancy stages. Some of these a little more developed than others. But one thing we've done just at the beginning of this year, from feedback from teachers, and we met with our new teachers, and they said, you know what? As a brand new teacher, I'm drowning. And so as the lifeguard of this district, I said, what can we do to support them? And so we created a novice teacher academy. We pulled them together one day a month, and we just feed into the things they need: classroom management, using technology, engagement strategies, helping them to grow and feel a little more comfortable in the work that they're doing. That's going to build their capacity. And as we build their capacity, they become a little more comfortable in taking risk. And when you start taking risk, now you're in leadership. Now you're moving in that direction. The next phase of this work that we're doing is we're going to have a master teacher academy. So that's for those teachers who are a little more seasoned. They've been in this work 7 to 10 years or 15 or more years, and they still want to iron out their own craft. They want to sharpen their tools and become even better at that work, and potentially even lead some of the work. And so that's how we're doing some of that teacher leader work. And then as a system, we have, and over the last 2 years, participated in a program that's called a multi-classroom leader. And so that's where we're pulling classroom teachers out of the classroom with their own class, and they're supporting a small group of teachers in a way that is very intentional. So giving them those leadership skills so that we can see who are our next assistant principals, who are our next set of principals, but also giving our assistant principals some leadership opportunities. So we are dreaming big right now and looking at summer school a little differently. Summer school normally is, you're not doing well, so come to summer school. Well, we're going to look at summer school more of a camp or an academy, where if you want to come and get enriched, we're going to do some project-based learning. We're going to do some community service kind of learning. Come to summer school. So I got a couple of assistant principals who are planning that out. And so they're getting some skills and building teams. They're getting some skills and organizing and planning a campus or a school. And so they're getting developed as a leader. So they're getting primed for their next leadership journey, or at least the skills in order to be that next leader. So doing little things to give people exposure and opportunities to lead in ways that they may not have done in the past, or may not have been as explicit ways of doing that.
That's great. That really ties into the title of this episode, Homegrown Leadership, because you're looking into your ranks. To build those leaders up, to give them the resources that they need so they can be able to go out, not only just in the schools, but in the communities, and help those students to be able to achieve their fullest potential. So as you look at the historic background of the Texarkana School District, how do you go about helping people embrace the change that you are bringing to the district? So I know a lot of people might have been used to certain things, how things used to be, but with everything, things evolve. So how are you going about presenting it to the community of the change components that you're bringing to the district?
So my strategy, and I hope people have figured it out, because I'm not trying to be secretive with my strategy. My strategy is information, information, information. And so if I share with people the why behind what we're doing, the how we plan to do it, get their feedback, and that's what those councils come in for me. Every decision we've made, in large part, they have been privy to it, either in advance or right after we made it, so that they can, again, ask questions, get clarity, and then be ambassadors for us to go out and share. So they can say, here's what they're doing, or debunk tales.
Right.
They're doing this. No, I heard from Dr. Jackson. Here's what's happening. So here's the real deal coming from the horse's mouth. And so the goal is to share information and be transparent in what we're doing. Sometimes we're not able to share as much as often as we like or to as many people, but we want to do all we can to, when we make a decision, maybe to share our why behind that, our how behind that. And I also recognize that not every decision we make people are going to like, but we do need to hear feedback. And that may help us refine what that is. And that's the other thing I ask our teams to do. I meet with our teams, and I don't want a bunch of yes people in the room. So you're talking about homegrown. The thing that I, even in the interview process, and certainly in my first few months on the job, I saw firsthand is that we got some great people working in this district. We got some people who love Texarkana Arkansas School District, who love the students that we serve and who are working really hard. And so we got great people, and we want to grow those great people. And as we do that, communication, information becomes key, becomes critical as they begin to know. Because as a young leader, and they're very fortunate that I'm a little older now, but when I came in as a building leader, I came in like a bull in a china cabinet. Change, moving this. And it was like, okay, it was too much. And so I learned from that experience that in order to go fast, sometimes you got to go slow. And so there are some things I would love to get changed tomorrow, but I recognize you got to pace change out. And if you pace it out, people can bite it a little easier. They can chew it a little easier. They can digest it a little easier. And so we're trying to do some piecemeal change as we go along. But then there are some things that, this is not good for kids. So we got to change it now. And so we change some things because we have to. Other things, we just kind of piece it along as we go along and make necessary adjustments along this journey.
That's great, man. So I know you're currently working right now. You're on the job right now, trying to make things great for the district. So as you think about your role, you're in your 11th month. I see you being there for quite a while. So what do you want your legacy, or you hope your legacy will be 5-10 years down the road?
Sure.
For the Texarkana Arkansas School District.
That's a great question, because I do think about the future. I look at this district. That is what gives me the excitement that I have. Is I can see where we're going, and I can see it, I can taste it, I can smell it, and I'm excited about it. And the fun thing is, there are so many people in our district who have that same excitement and saying that same. They can see where we're going and where we're going to be, and where I want us to be. I want to be in a district where students are seeing success on all levels, where students, when they leave us, are set up in such a way that they are going to excel if they go to college. They're going to excel if they go to trade school. They're going to excel if they go into the workforce. They're going to see great success. And I will be successful as a superintendent when my students are successful, for sure. But also when we have leaders who feel comfortable in taking risk and being adventurous, is a lack of a better word, in the work that they're doing. That they begin to create experiences that are very positive. But at the end of it all, I want people to look at us and say, what's happening over in Texarkana, Arkansas? We need to go visit that district. So when people are starting to schedule tours of our facilities, tours of our programs, tours of the work that we're doing within professional learning communities, the work that we're doing within PBIS, the work that we're doing in CTE, career technical education, when people are looking at us and saying, man, you have 85% poverty rate, but your test scores are rocking it out. That's when I know we've seen success, and we're going to see that. We're going to see that. Now, I don't see it in long term. That's short order. 5 years, 7 years from now, we're going to see students seeing success and being very intentional about that success in a district where the pride. Well, right now we got a bunch of folk who got some underground pride. They're proud of their Razorback. They don't always show it when they go into Longhorns, or when they go into Zapata, or when they go into And so I want people to be proud when they walk into whatever scene to say, you know what, I'm Texarkana Arkansas Razorback. Yeah, I'm a Razorback, and do that with their chest out and their head high.
Right. I love it. I'm gonna poke at you before I let you get out, because I know I know it. You talk about pride, and going to Pine Street. We had a little motto.
Mm-hmm. Personal responsibility and daily effort.
So I can see that in you, Mr. Moore, that was a big mentor for us, and see that a lot in the work that you're doing. I watch you. I'm gonna continue to watch you with the work that you're doing in the community. I know when I first saw that you were one of the candidates for the superintendent job at Texarkana on Facebook, I said, "Hey, that's the right guy for the job. You can't go wrong." I posted that, shared it on my Facebook page because I saw the stuff you've done. I see the energy that you have from you being SGA at Henderson to doing the different programs that you've done on campus, and then your time in Hot Springs, and then your time in Kansas City. So I followed your path of things that you've been doing. And when I saw that you were coming here, I'm like, yeah, that's going to be the change right there. That's going to be the focus. Because oftentimes we have two flagships in Texarkana. That's TISD and that's TSD. Nothing against the Liberty Isle or anything, great institutions and Pleasant Grove, but the way Texarkana goes is the way TASD and TISD go.
I disagree with that. And my goal is to be an asset.
Right.
I want Texarkana Arkansas School District to be an asset.
Right.
And I go back to I'm honored to get a chance to serve. It's a privilege for me to get a chance to serve and to do it here in a space that has poured so much into me. That gives me so much drive and so much excitement every day.
Right. And man, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of the work you're doing. I'm proud that we're brothers of Texarkana, brothers of the same cloth in Alpha Phi Alpha. And I'm just proud of the work that you're doing now and what you're going to do for our students. It doesn't just impact Texarkana, Arkansas, but it impacts the whole Texarkana community, and the work that you're doing and your team is going to be doing for our youth. Man, I'm excited to see what's going to happen, what is going to happen. So again, I thank you for coming on tonight, giving us 11-month perspective of what you think of what's been going on for the district and what your projections are going forward. So Lloyd, man, I really appreciate you. And thank you again, ladies and gentlemen. This has been episode 27 of TXK Conversations. We're going to tie back in. We have some more guests that we're going to bring in, some more homegrown leaders that are doing things in their community, not just in Texarkana, but abroad across the country. So as always, what's your TXK state of mind? And we'll see you next week.